Hey everybody, on today's episode of Buds Mafia, we talk a little bit about Jackson's wedding for the first little 8 to 10 minutes or so. Then we get into some playoff hockey. Not too much. I mean, we're talking about the East with Carolina ending the series, and then Buffalo, Montreal. We're live watching Game 3 right now. Then we go over to the West with Colorado. Minnesota's back in the series. Mariners dominating Vegas, and then we, for a majority of the episodes, talk about the Leafs, obviously getting the first overall pick, situation with Matthews, free agent options, and it's basically everything Leafs that we can talk about. And then we wrap up with our Truist recap and then our PGA Championship draft. And then we get into our betting segments. Comment, like, subscribe. Let's get into episode 68.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round! Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5! Oh, the play of the year in the NFL!
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 68 of the Buds Mafia podcast. You have myself and you have the newlywed man, Jackson. He's getting ready for his honeymoon is it Cancun tomorrow you're going? Yeah, he goes to the Cancun. That's awesome. Are you gone for what, like a week? Yeah, there it is. There it is. Yeah, what a night. What a night. I'm still exhausted. I wasn't too hungover this morning. I drank a shit ton of water throughout the day, but I'm very tired.
We were talking about it when we were leaving. Like I said to my dad, I was like, man, I feel like I drank a ton.
Same with my brother's wedding. I drank a shit ton. I was not drunk. I just think there's a lot. It's mentally, you can't really be sloppy, so I feel like maybe that helps. And I did have me and Nick were guzzling water, and maybe that helps too. But I also had so much. That pizza was phenomenal. The crust was crunchy. It was incredible. But Nick was. Because we're not used to seeing him much like that, so I think he was. But he just did the same dance. He was just doing this the whole time.
I was doing this, and then him and I doing Freebird.
Yeah, man, I felt bad. I was sitting down for the last hour just with Kayla, and I was so tired. I was like, I can't really. It was a long day. We got to your place at 12, and then left at. Yeah, it was 12 hours.
Yeah, it was basically 12 hours.
Yeah, that's what happens. It was a good time. The venue was beautiful. The weather was incredible. I know it rained on us, but it kind of rained at the perfect time. Like, it literally rained as we went back upstairs, and then it stopped raining at the end. So, no, it was good. Nick, near the end here, him and your brother were looking at UFC the rest of the night, see what happened with the fights. Yeah, dude, Strickland.
I forgot till this morning, and then I see Strickland won.
We missed the Carolina 0-2 winner. I don't really care about that. Minnesota back in the series. But, I said Carolina got max 5 games. Yeah, I think I'm max. Yeah. Philly didn't play. I thought Philly actually didn't play. It's kind of like Ottawa. It's hard to beat that system, and they did all they could. But, yeah, we're going to talk about it later, but I think it's shaping up to be a Colorado-Carolina finals. I like Buffalo-Montreal a lot. I'm sure we're both watching Game 3 right now. You can probably see it in the background a little bit, but I don't know. Carolina is so fucking good with no Florida sitting there. It's going to be tough for someone to beat them. I don't know much of my draft or dump. I'll just draft the dicks. I'm pretty sure I've drafted the dicks before. Everything was awesome. Dude, me and Nick the whole time were thinking I'm gonna make fun of Jackson when he starts crying. I was crying my balls off. When your brother got up there, then Parker did the whole, and he just kind of shocked everyone. I looked at you, and you were clearly going through it. I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
First of all, Kevin came to give me a hug. We didn't really we said to Parker, if you feel like speaking, don't worry. So I said to Kevin, I was like, I got a little bit more time. And then Kevin went, and he got me when I gave him a hug, and then all I heard was Parker say, screw it, and turn around and go back to the podium. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then I look at Taylor, she starts bawling. I look over to her family.
Incredible. Dude, he literally said, I've always wanted a brother, and now I finally got the best one. I was like, stop it, Parker. Stop it, dude. Stop it. Oh, then, one point, Nick was dying laughing because when we were at the bar, when you're doing your speeches, they remove the middle table. when you gave your speech, you're thanking your mom and your brother and everything. I started tearing up. I look at Nick. I'm like, that's so lame. And my eyes are just completely red and crying. But yeah, no, it was awesome. I didn't even cry at my brother's wedding. So that was a bit of a shock.
The bartender afterwards, she was like, there's a lot of tears at this wedding. I was like, do people not normally cry? She's like, not like this. I'm like, God damn it, I don't even think we're that emotional.
Steve Austin. Like, I looked at him when we were all crying, and Nick's just like, damn, everyone's crying now. Like, he didn't give a shit. Like, he was just stone cold. He was stone cold.
My favorite part, right before I went up to do my dance with my mom, I looked at Kevin and I go, you ready? And he goes, what? And I go, I'm going to embarrass mom so much and make her cry. And he goes, Jesus Christ, dude, I don't think that's the point. And then we got halfway through and I was like, all right, I'm going to start belting out the song. So I just started singing as loud as I could.
Shout out Taylor's parents, dude. Great speech. Mark was hilarious. He just kind of free-willed it, and he did incredible.
Friends went up to him.
Shout out Jimmy, too. He was a bit of a liability, but he made it through. He got cut off, and at some point, people were trying to get him beer. And every time someone asked for a Coors Light, because he was the only person drinking Coors Light that night, they knew they'd be giving it to him, so they cut him off. But yeah. But no, he had a good time, and it was a good night. But today I feel like today will probably be a bit of a shorter episode because at least playoff. I don't know about you. I thought the first round was a lot better. Second round, obviously the teams are better. There's also just so much going. Would you rather the first round with there's so much going on, or do you like the second round because you can pay attention to the 7 o'clock game, then you can pay attention to the 9 o'clock game? Where the first round, it's like there's 3 games on at one time.
Like it feels every playoffs. By the time you hit the second round, you're already in it for almost 2 weeks, and you're like some of the series. Like, look at the series. That series doesn't really excite me.
Great.
The Minnesota-Colorado series is good, but it doesn't mean get me pumped.
It is good. It's just, again, I'm an early bird, so it's hard to stay up for some of these games. But that's why sometimes a Saturday night when they have Saturday they have the Minnesota play at 3. That's awesome. But yeah, we missed. Yeah, I don't know.
I went to bed at Taylor and I got back to the hotel and we got McDonald's.
I was so full, dude. I guess you didn't really have. Did you not have that much pizza? I was so full when I got home.
Eat any pizza. At that point I was kind of locked in on making sure everyone was in a good space, if you know what I mean, and then by that time I was like, I just wanted to dance. All I wanted was what song you didn't play that I really needed was Shakira. I just needed Hips Don't Lie. But yeah, no, I didn't. And then we got back to the hotel and Taylor's like, do McDonald's? I was like, yeah, of course. There's a jacuzzi in the middle, so we went into the jacuzzi. Wrong idea. It was I started profusely sweating. It was way too hot. And then I got a McDouble of junior chicken, so did Taylor. Then we both got 10 chicken nuggets. Then we also got a poutine.
Yeah, you know it's your day. Do what you want to do. Yeah. It should be Nick's day soon. We'll see.
I lived it up. That's what I said to Taylor, and then we'll stop talking about the wedding. I said to her driving home today, I was like, man, I'm so happy that we were the first ones. It's now we can go to all the other ones, no stress, nothing, just be happy for everyone else, not have to think about fucking anything else. I said to her 15 minutes, even though I'm happy to be going to Cancun and everything, I'm kind of upset. I think it's normal. I'm kind of upset that yesterday's over. Yesterday was, especially at the end of the night when everyone was on the dance floor.
When the last beat of Mr. Brightside went off. I forgot you told me that you're ending on Mr. Brightside. I think you told me that before. And yeah, that was legendary. That was awesome. So we can get into it. Like I said, today won't be too long episode. We're both exhausted. Jack's going to get up early. Not a lot in playoffs. A lot of Leafs talk, obviously. By the way, I say this every fucking pod, but I swear to God, the biggest sports news in the world always happen on Tuesdays. Because we were usually recorded on Sunday or Monday. We also didn't even mention the draft lottery last episode. I completely just didn't cross my mind. But we won. We won the draft lottery. Yeah. We can talk about the playoffs. Yeah, it's lucky 12. We can talk about the playoffs after.
Here we go.
We're talking about the playoffs first because there's not much going on. Or at least there is. Sorry, but I haven't really watched too much playoff hockey. I've watched every Buffalo-Montreal game. We watched the Buffalo-Montreal game the other day. But Carolina-Philly, I think we both. You said Carolina 6. I said Carolina 5, but easily could be 4. It ended up being 4. Carolina's too good. They've done this the same thing in the past 5 playoffs. Anderson hasn't let in more than 2 goals this entire playoffs, which is absurd. And dude, that line is incredible of Blake, Stankoven, and Hall, they keep doing their thing. Philly just, they kind of took a step back. Vladar was still great. Like, it wasn't his fault, but like, no. It was like 3-2-2-1 every fucking game. That's how Carolina plays. You're not going to be in a 5-4 game with Carolina. You're just not. They shut things down. Like, if you have a 1-goal deficit going to the third against Carolina, good luck. They just fucking shut you down. Dude, their whole decor can just fly. We know how good Slavin is. Miller is a tremendous skater. Gostisbehere is a great skater. Sean Walker is a great skater. When Nikishin's in the lineup, which I think he's already back in the lineup, he's a great skater. Chatfield is shut down. Like, they just shut guys down. They can all fucking skate, which I wish our defense could skate like that, every single one of them. Instead, we have Brandon Carlo and Simone Benoit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But yeah, I love Simone. But yeah, I mean, Carolina out to the conference finals. They're going to have a fucking, 10-day break. But, and then we can talk Buffalo, Montreal. I mean, again, only been 2 games. We have game 3 on right beside us. Game 1, I would say both teams didn't look that good, but Buffalo obviously dominated. But dude, it's insane. But also, how quiet was it after Tage Thompson scored? That was a silencer.
I said to Taylor, I was like, "Listen how loud this arena is." 53 seconds later,
Dobich wasn't at best in game 1. Dahlin was disgusting. Benson, I love Benson. He's a fucking rat. Hudson, complete accountability. He said he was by far the worst player. I mean, I think that was a little bit harsh. He definitely wasn't his best, but he definitely wasn't the worst player, I would say. Then game 2, kind of the complete opposite. Like, it was opposite. Montreal dominated, yeah. That was a huge split.
No, what did he say? Thompson's fucking... He said every time I touch the puck, something horrible.
And then he gets a big one, so there you go. Yeah. And Newhook, dude. Newhook's been awesome, too. He had a big goal. Yeah.
Newhook has 5 points and fucking... Yeah, no,
he's been great.
This is the most he's had in the playoffs.
And yeah, we're watching game 3, and now it's 1-1 going to the second. We'll probably have some of it on. Jackson will be cheering. But, it's been good. But now, that's it for the East. We can talk about the West. I mean, Colorado, Minnesota did not expect game 1 of 9-6. After both series for both goalies, like Wallstead and Wedgwood are both phenomenal. And then they do that. And this is the Cale Makar versus Quinn Hughes show. Quinn Hughes, I think Bieska and Spin Chicklets said it, or it's about Cale Makar. He's definitely the best defenseman in the whole NHL. There's no question. Obviously, the Norris is different. Like, it's just the best defenseman that year. But Cale Makar, like he said on Team Canada, one of the best teams in the world, he's first out there for power play and first out there for penalty kill. Like, he's the best defenseman in the world. Quinn Hughes doesn't penalty kill. He could, but Minnesota has some great defensive defensemen, so he doesn't need to be out there. But you could say he's arguably more valuable than Cale Makar is, too. I don't think Cale Makar has had to carry a team as much as Quinn Hughes has, because Makar's had, like, McKinnon and all these guys. Quinn in Vancouver hasn't been that good. Obviously, a lot more players on Minnesota, but... You see what Quinn Hughes said after, I don't know if it was after game 3, before game 3. Do you see what he said? He said along the lines of, I personally think I have more experience, because he's played like 400, 500 NHL games. He says he thinks he has more experience than players who have 900 plus games, just because he's been a captain in a Canadian market. He's been to the Olympics. Which I was like, sure, I guess. I mean, it's kind of an odd quote to say, but I get it. I guess it's interesting. Yeah, it's not like he's playing the playoffs a ton. This is like his third playoffs, but but yeah, game 1 just absolute domination. Game 2, Makar and McKinnon were a joke. Nate just might be the best skater in the NHL. I know McDavid, obviously McKinnon too, but he flies right there. What a great trade. Again, Rantanen was a dog, but you get a guy who can play the same pace as McKinnon, like we've said before. Now you have him locked up for 8 more years. He's performing in the playoffs. See. Actually, we're gonna live reaction to see. I know that my sisters are watching. My sister and my mom are watching the game upstairs. I think their TV's ahead of mine, but no, I don't think so. Demidov, he needs to score, but his hands are disgusting. Yeah, he just toes guys. Like, he just goes right around them. But yeah, back to what were they saying? Were you surprised that they went to Gustafsson in game 2 for Minnesota? I thought so too.
9 goals let in.
And you know what? It worked out, because now game 3, you put him back in, you give him that rest, and he had a huge game. He only had 1 goal. I don't think Colorado's been held to 1 goal in weeks. None.
Gustafsson started in the first round.
Wallstead played every game, I'm pretty sure.
Dallas. Yeah, so give Wallstead a break.
It's just risky giving a goaltender a break, right? Because if you give him, obviously they ended up working out because they won game 3, but... Yeah, and in game 3, the Minnesota's top guys were the top guys. Faber, 3 points. Kirill, 3 points. 2 points for Hughes. That's a huge win because I still think they're missing Brodin and Eriksson Ek, who are crucial defensive pieces. You can see that with one score being 9-6, and I think the next game was like 5-2 or something. I can't remember what game 2 score was, but yeah, I still think Colorado has it. It's a big game tomorrow night. I think game 4. Can I see Minnesota tying the series? Absolutely, but. Did you see the post come out about Nathan McKinnon and him swimming in the pool? Him with the fucking flippers on?
Flippers and goggles swimming in a hotel pool. If you're Minnesota and you let Nathan McKinnon beat you.
So he's been known this before. He said he does do swimming for help his aerobics, and it's great for recovery. I think that's an old video. I don't know what the weather is like in Minnesota right now. I feel like it's not outdoor pool weather just yet in early May. I could be wrong, but he told me, he told me that the other day. That's crazy.
Something of the year.
That's good old Denver.
It was wild.
If we don't get to Anaheim, Vegas, I've definitely paid more attention to the Colorado series, but no, I mean Marner's been phenomenal. Like he's been so good. He had a hat trick in Game 3. Yeah, he's leading the league and leading the playoffs in goals, which is a joke. I think he has more goals with Vegas than he ever had with fucking Toronto. Like it's insane. Yeah, he's 5 goals.
I think he's got 15 points.
I don't know. Last year, I don't think he might have scored once. Did he score? Yeah, he had the breakaway in Game 1 against Ottawa, but I don't think he ever scored against Florida. No, he had 2 goals in Game 1. Still, whatever. He's doing well. I mean, I don't know. Do you see that icing call in Game 1? I don't know how the fuck that was an icing. It's basically Home clearly beat Eichel to the puck, but then it wasn't called an icing, and then Eichel completely took the puck after, and then they scored. And Anaheim was the better team in Game 1, but they took the win. But then Game 2, Anaheim was clearly the better team. Leo Carlson was incredible. There's all these discussions that Leo Carlson should have went first over Bedard. I don't think it's a bad discussion. I think both players are going to be disgusting. I think just people, you look at size, yeah.
I just saw someone.
I think that was Biz. Biz, I think, said that. I mean, it's just people look at size and you're like, hey, that's your number one center, 6'3", 200 pounds. You look at Bedard, but we'll see. I mean, if you give Bedard, Cutter Gauthier, Troy Terry, Beckett Seneca, I'm sure he's going to put up numbers too, just not the size isn't there. But also Bedard, for a smaller guy, height-wise, he's built like a truck. Like, he's a stocky dude, but yeah, he's got quads. But then Game 3, we said Marner hat-trick, Vegas dominated. I still think Anaheim's for sure in this series. I just think you're seeing that experience versus youth kind of come up in that series. Like I said, Game 1, Vegas was not the better team, but they had the experience. Like every guy in that team either won Stanley Cup or been far in the playoffs. Like the guy who probably has the least amount of experience is probably Marner. I know playoffs every single year, but in terms of like distance, it's probably Marner. Like a lot of that Vegas team has been to the finals or won a Stanley Cup. Where Anaheim, they have Killorn for sure. He's not a big piece of that team anymore. He's actually playing really good, but in terms of like ice time, Trouba, like these older guys, like Vegas, like Eichel, Stone, Barbashev's an absolute cigarette machine. He's a truck. Shea Theodore, Braden McNabb. Hurdle's been ass. I think Hurdle scored a goal in I think Biz said 7 weeks or something. It's something crazy. He's been terrible, but yeah, I'd be shocked if Anaheim doesn't tie it tonight. He's been really good. There was concerns about him picking up in playoffs because he had a great year. I think he had 37 goals, but I think in the past he's kind of disappeared in the playoffs. But again, if he can get a goal every other few games and he scores some big goals, he's an absolute cannon of a wrister. But yeah, no, I think Anaheim ties it tonight. Again, we're filming Sunday. By the time this comes out, Vegas could already win the series. Kind of same thing for a lot of these other teams, but I kind of want to get into some Leaf talk. There's going to be a lot of Leaf talk this podcast. I may just take the wheel here. But first off, like we said, first overall, the draft lottery was very kind to us. I love this new format. They debuted it last year, and seeing the numbers and seeing what number your team needs to get is pretty sick. I think it's very cool. Obviously, I'm biased because Toronto won, but even last year I really liked it. Poor Vancouver. I mean, this isn't like a consensus there's a McDavid first overall, so it's not like they're missing out too much because there are some questions about McKenna, but they're going to get a good player. Next year is a bigger one with that DuPont kid, but I mean, San Jose, the fact they were 3 points out of playoffs or 5 points out of playoffs and they get second overall pick is a joke. Now they can do whatever they want. Yeah, you have Will Smith. I think you got to take a defense. I know defense aren't rated that high in this draft, but I don't care if you reach for a defense who is projected 5th or 6th. You take him 2nd. Who gives a shit? Or trade down and get some assets like a Chicago maybe and get a defenseman. You need a defenseman there. I posted, today's Sunday, but I made a mock draft video that comes out on Monday. Go check that out. It'll be already out by now. Comment, like, subscribe. By the way, since our last podcast, we gained like 40 more subscribers too. We're at like 240 now. So keep bumping that up. Yes, it's all because of you.
Experts.
Let's see. So they had Sportsnet had like analysis right on after the draft lottery, of course, to talk about who Toronto should draft, because this is insane. It's like 10 years since the Matthews draft. Like, this is I joke saying it's rigged. It could be, but I don't care. I think it has to be McKenna. I wouldn't be too mad if it's Stenberg. I'll say that, but I want McKenna.
How much shit this guy gonna get? He's already taken a ton of shit, and people have kind of come on him a little bit with what he's come out and said about how he wants the team to be fast, strong, resilient, etc. Like, basically any talking point that any general manager is going to come out and say, which I think is what Trey Living said when he came in too. But like, the hype around could possibly see this.
The ceiling is the ceiling is Nikita Kucherov. Like, that's his comparison. His skating is not gonna blow you away, but his offensive IQ, his passing, his stick handling, his just creativity. Like, again, his skating is not crazy, but he slows the game down like Kucherov does. And Matthews has been missing that playmaker since Marner left. And I think you got to take the ceiling on McKenna, because the guy on Sportsnet said if you draft Stenberg, he's more of an NHL-ready guy. McKenna may get you 100 points and be an even player, where Stenberg might get you 80 points and be like a plus 15, plus 20, right? So trust me, I understand that. And again, if they did draft Stenberg, I wouldn't be like, fuck. I'd be like, okay, like we're getting a good player regardless. It's just, I think this ceiling of McKenna, what this kid's been through, again, he had the best D+1 season ever, meaning his season before his draft season. He had 130 points, which is better than McDavid. I know McDavid got hurt. No, sorry, McDavid didn't get hurt. McDavid, Bedard, like, he was dominant. Then he went to NCAA. People thought he had a down year. I mean, he still had 51 points, 35 games. And people like, like Celebrini, all these guys did all this. But, like, I mean, Celebrini went to Boston University. Fantilli went to Michigan and had all these studs. He went to Penn State, and Penn State's on the rise in hockey, but they're not a Boston University. They're not a Michigan. They're a great team for sure. And, I mean, people are like, oh, you have to look at his point inflation because he's 8 points against Ohio State and shit. I don't care. I just see 8 points in a fucking D1 hockey game. And this guy, he defends his mom. He'll beat up anyone who talks shit about her. Like, that's the guy I want. And again, I like either of them. I hope we don't trade this pick. That'd be such a Toronto move. Only way I'd want this pick traded if it's like Montreal scored.
It would be.
That's Caulfield too. Only way I'm okay with this trade going through if it's like for like a number one D-man. But even that, like, me and my brother were talking today during Mother's Day, like, would you trade the number one pick for like a Thomas Harley? Like, I think Thomas Harley is very good, but now he is good, but now you have 8 years at $11 million, which is a good contract for him. I'm just saying, you get an entry level guys are just so crucial now with the salary, even though salary cap's going up by $10 million, but still.
Yeah,
Give me Rasmus Dahlin, and I'll do it
for that.
Yeah,
exactly. It has to be. It has untouchable, and I think the only way you're seeing that is like there's not a team where you're like, yeah, they're completely untouchable. So it's like I don't see. I would be. I'm with you.
I agree.
Stenberg, but I do think that you just have to ride with it and just take McKenna and let it ride. Plus, that way too, like, you're not in a retool. Like, I think, remember who said it, but they're talking retool versus rebuild. Like, this is kind of change the team a little bit. You need a young guy to come in who you're willing to slot in. Like, Cowan's going to come in next year, I think, and play really well. McKenna, Nyes, like, you have these young guys who can come in, so you need that. And say it doesn't go amazing next year and Matthews walks, you still have kids who can score and who are going to develop and be better. And, like, say Matthews walk even before the end of this year, you're going to get the bag for Matthews. So you're going to be able to bring in either prospects or bring in playmakers or a D-man on top of it. So, like,
I agree. And like you just said, too, like, McKenna. This opens up so many possibilities. Like, I obviously said the trading thing. I don't want to do that. But, like, in terms of, like, if Matthews does walk, like, if he wants to walk, hey, you have pieces now. You have pieces. Like, before, yes, Nyes is great. And, we talk about these trade packages. I don't want to get rid of Nyes, but he's a great piece. And now we have multiple pieces, like you just said. We have Cowan, we have McKenna, we have Nyes, and we have all these guys. I know we said you don't build around wingers, but they're great pieces for when that guy comes. And trust me, I want to keep Matthews, but if he's gone, it's not, absolutely terrible. And we'll talk about Matthews now. Chris Johnson came out with an article about Matthews uncertain about the future. Again, none of this stuff is kind of new. I think we kind of already knew this. Just it has to. I think they're going to talk about. I think they're going to meet with him at some point in Arizona or Scottsdale in the next coming weeks or something. But I heard, he doesn't really want to make a decision till July and all this stuff, right? But you have to be honest with him. This is the Quinn Hughes situation. Like, you got to tell him, like, hey, you can be uncertain about playing here, but if you want to move on, you're playing the first half of the season. You can't just sit out. I don't think that was never a discussion. But the thing with Quinn Hughes is like, hey, like, we're going to be looking at deals for you as soon when the season starts and moving forward, because I don't think Vancouver expects to be that good. But it's like you're going to play the start of the season. You're going to play, and as the season grows on, we're going to gain interest from teams, and then by November before Christmas time, we'll pull the trigger. But you have to start the season. It's not because July, that's so late. Like if August Matthews, I know we're saying July. Like if August Matthews like I don't want to play here anymore, it's like, hey, fuck, man, training camp's next month. Like we kind of have to figure this playing out. So yes, trust me, it's his future. He can decide what he wants to do. But it's like, hey, man, like if you want to move on, that's great. But you got to start here. You got to start, or right now we're gonna move you. Like if it's either we got to move you right now, or let's see how the season goes, and we'll filter in some of these trade packages because that's fine. And then we'll get the massive trade haul that Quinn Hughes got. But we can't know that you want to move on in August or September. We can't do that. So again, I want him to stay. I think the McKenna pick definitely helps, but it's not certain. It's not like a 17-year-old savior, but we'll see. I definitely think it helps a little bit. I will say, dude, some of these trade packages I'm seeing for Matthews are kind of terrible. Like I'm seeing a lot of Matthews for the second overall pick. I mean, that's fun. Not just getting McKenna and Stenberg, that'd be kind of jokes, but I still don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's far off because second overall pick is really big, but some of these teams that I'm seeing that are in the mix for Matthews, it makes zero sense. Like San Jose, like I don't get why San Jose be in the mix. You don't need forwards. You don't need number one center. You have Celebrini. You need fucking defense. And if they take a Stenberg second overall, I think they're nuts. Like, are these D-men coming in like number one D-men? We'll never know, or we won't know yet. But like some of these trade packages, Mike Bartner, who I'm a big fan of, but he said Flyers, he said Mishkov and we get our first round pick next year back because Philly has our 2027 first. I hate that. I don't hate Mishkov.
Yeah,
I do think Tocchet is not the right coach for him. Even though I think Tocchet's a great coach, but Toronto can't be bad yet. We can't be. We don't have our first. We have to be mid. We have to be a mid team or hopefully make playoffs. We can't be dog shit yet.
Like, yeah, Matthews might be unsure, but like this is the first time in fucking 9 years you missed the playoffs. So like, yeah, I get it. You want to win now. You're getting hurt. But at the same time, like, I have one program. And give it another year. In another year, then you got 1 year left on your contract and you don't want to extend in Toronto. Get it. Like understand. But like to just lose faith in the track from the year before you go to the second round of the playoffs and you lose to you take the team that won the fucking Stanley Cup 2-7. Like I just understand how this is the be all end all. Fuck it. Where like I understand you got rid of a 100-point player who's probably one of your best friends. And again,
some of these trade packages, some of these teams don't make sense. It's like, okay, does he want to just go try something new, or does he want to win? Or because like LA, we've talked about LA before. If they're gonna have to give up like a Byfield and a Clark, you're telling me a core of 35-year-old Panarin, 37-year-old Doughty, Matthews, and Adrian Kempe is a Stanley Cup winning team? Fuck no. Like they're not gonna win. Like Minnesota definitely needs number one center. They have nothing to give because they've already gave it all for Quinn Hughes. Unless he pulls a Panarin and is like, I'm only going to Minnesota, and so we have zero leverage, and so Minnesota's like, why would I trade you guys 4 first-round picks? Because he wants to come here. Like, he's already, that's the thing, right? I don't think he'll do that. I don't think he'll sewer the team, but, like, Minnesota makes sense, but in terms of value, they don't really have a lot. It'll have to be Urov. It'll have to be either 20-30 first-round pick and more, you know what I mean? And then Utah is a team that excites me the most for that, because they have so many assets. They have first-round picks. They have Tisha Ginla, their 4th overall pick last year, Caleb Desnoyers. They have some defensemen. That's a team that makes sense. It's close to home for him, and it's a team on the rise. He's best friends with Clayton Keller. That team makes sense. This Philly, like LA, doesn't make any sense to me.
The first round huge, but you're probably Kenna. where we need to get a D-man in there that can move the puck, and I think that's where it's important with seeing how the roster's built next year, like getting a Darren Raddysh or like one of these other guys who are
not even dominate, just like move like just we were important. Probably the worst like breakout teams in the whole NHL last year. Like we need to get our best players the puck, and by getting the puck doesn't mean off the glass and hopefully our players can find it in a neutral zone. It's getting the puck with speed. And well, I have some free agent options I'll get to. I kind of want to, like I said this earlier before we kind of talk about some of these trade packages. The Leafs, like you just kind of talked about with Matthews giving another shot, the Leafs can't be bad yet. They can't be full tank yet. Because, again, like I said, we don't have our 2027 first. No. We don't have our 2028 first because of this McKenna lottery. We can't be bad. I'm not saying we have to make playoffs. I'm not saying we have to be on the brink of playoffs. We can't be a bottom 10 team yet because then we're kind of screwed. We have to be a retool. Because even if I may be delusional. Even if we do trade Matthews, I still think this team could be a 15th out of 30th team. I still think we can be a middle of the pack team because we've won without Matthews before. Trust me, he is a number one center. I'm not saying any of that. But if we trade Matthews and get valuable assets back, I don't think we're a Vancouver. Look at Vancouver's roster compared to Toronto, but without Matthews, Toronto, we're not that bad, right? We have Nyes, we have Nylander, we'll have McKenna, we'll have Cowan, we'll have some other guys. So the Leafs can't be bad yet. I'm okay if it's retool, start really bad this year, trade Matthews for a ton of young players, get their feet wet, kind of be a 15th to 20th overall team. Same thing in 2028. We don't have our first. Kind of sucks, but we have McKenna. And then it's like, okay, let's see how we... But then by that time, the young guys may be proven, right? So, but I don't think... We can't be tank. Like, there's no point in tanking and being bad. We can't. We have 0 picks, so we can't be doing that. I want to talk about... we kind of briefly mentioned the hire of Chayka. And again, I think the Steve Simmons and that whole press conference happened after we recorded. I don't hate the Steve Simmons question. I just think he said it in such a gutless, because dude, Chayka's family was there. His wife and kids were there. And Steve Simmons said, basically to Keith Pelly, not to Steve Simmons, or not to Chayka, he said, how do you feel about hiring people calling your new GM a con artist, salesman, and basically just scumbag? He said to Keith Pelly. Keith's like, what? Like, and by the way, I'm not big, you know how I feel about Keith Pelly. I'm not the biggest fan of Keith Pelly. I'm not the biggest fan of Steve Simmons. John Chayka hiring is questionable because of his past. But also, if you're born to be a man and ask a big boy question, ask Chayka yourself. Why are you asking Keith Pelly to, like, oh, why'd you hire this scumbag? The guy's right there. Ask him yourself. And again, I don't hate that. He takes balls to ask that question. I'll say that. It took the balls to ask that question.
For sure. Getting sitting on that stand, though, like sitting in that press conference as Chayka and knowing what has happened in the past, you knew what was going to happen. Not being able to answer that question maybe directly yourself is shit. But at the end of the day, like at this point, everyone's moved back that, maybe not the best direction to go to. Like Simmons said to Keith Pelly, he's like, I've talked to a bunch of
profound GMs. He said profound that you would know of.
He said, this is the worst option you could have gone with. And Keith
I kind of fuck with that response. I don't hate it.
It's not a great response, but I don't know. Like for Chayka, I think he knows that. I think he knew coming into it he was going to have a target on his back.
He had a great day one.
He just takes
or great day two, I should say. Great day two. Day one was terrible.
Yeah. And I think Sundin, people say that Sundin's maybe not going to be as involved as, or that he's not going to have as much pull. Like, be out of your mind if you think they didn't bring him in for the reason.
Well, they told him,
creating that team. And what Sundin said was smart. Is they don't like or enjoy
original 6 team. And I think that's not. Well, that's what they said in hiring because he thought originally the job was like an ambassador, like hanging around the team every now and then. They're like, no, we want you in the meetings. We want you up there. And so I think that's because again, he's moving his whole family across. And my whole thing with Chayka as well is I don't think I told you this. I was in a Twitter conversation with Biz Nasty. One day I was beefing. Oh fuck. Montreal again. One day I was beefing with RA, the next I was talking with Paul Bissonnette on Twitter, which is kind of funny. Because basically I was listening to their last episode on Chicklets, and they said, if you want to criticize Chayka for the tampering and the combine, 100%, because that's what he got actually suspended for that. Like that's no question. But they were criticizing him for what he did to Shane Doan. And then, which basically, if people don't know, Shane Doan was 41 years old, legend in Arizona. He's like the best franchise player of all time. Played like 1,500 games there. And his last year, he had like 6 goals, 20 points, and just was not a good player anymore. He wanted to come back, and Chayka said no. Like, he said, I'm sorry, man. I think it's time. We got to move on. Like, you're 41. I mean, hey, was there more stuff behind closed doors where he said, could he have said fuck off? Maybe. I don't know. But like basically said, like we have young guys coming up, man. I'm sorry. I know you're a legend here. We can't just be handing out free $1 million contracts to like, we got to move on. That's what happened. And they're criticizing the move because of that. If you want to criticize because of the tampering, that I get more. But with the Doan thing, and then what I went on biz on Twitter was, but then on the same, like within minutes later, they said that Jim Nill should kick Jamie Benn to the curb because he played bad this year. I'm like, that's the exact same thing. It's the exact same situation. So that's kind of my thing. And me personally, I don't give a fuck about the Doan thing. Like I love Shane Doan. He's been awesome. Chicklets. He's a legend. I don't give a shit about him.
Yandel
no,
like Biz played with.
And I respect the loyalty 100%. Yeah, 100%.
There's a bit more of like a respect thing there, you know? And like you got a guy who like maybe not as for the boys as just a hockey player, and you know, Paul Bissonnette, who's kind of just a journeyman fighter in the league. Clearly, but at the same, I get where he's from. I
could not have cared. Like when I heard about the 3 things that people were questioning about the Doan thing, tampering, sure, the combine thing, sure. Again, it was during a like people forget Arizona was sold, so it's not like it was only him. It's not like the organization was in a good place. But the Doan thing, it's not like shit. Like, and then Witt said something interesting. He said like Leaf fans would lose their mind if this would have happened to like a Doug Gilmour maybe. Or I'm like. Probably, but guess what? It didn't. So I don't really give a shit. And then you kind of say anything about Jamie Benn should get kicked to the curb. And they didn't say that, but in that sense, it's like, man, it's a business. Sometimes it's a business. And yes, Arizona was not a good team when they let Doan go. Like, so like they probably could have just kept him around, but it's not a charity case, man. Like, it's not a good. He wasn't good. But I'll be optimistic. Every time. There's other guys that maybe would have preferred, but. We got him now. We got McKenna too, or at least first overall picks. We'll see where we go from there. I don't have anything else to say on that. I kind of talk about some of this free agency and stuff coming up. With McKenna, our top 6 next year, like with McKenna, Matthews, hopefully Nylander, Nyes, Cowan, Tavares. I like that top 6. Obviously, we're gonna have to bolster up that bottom 6. We'll see if we bring back Robertson, Michelli. I think Joseph has still term left, so we'll see. But now it's D-men. That's what Matthews and Nylander said. We need D-men. Like we said earlier, obviously we can take a stab at like a Darren Raddysh, a John Carlson, Rasmus Anderson. Unlikely, but we'll see. Depends. Like if Vegas wins, why would he move on? But we'll see. Yeah. Tony DeAngelo. I mean, he had some off-ice issues, but he is an offensive puck mover. Ryan Shea had like almost 40 points with Pittsburgh this year, even though I hear he's likely going to resign with Pittsburgh. He's really good. But a guy who I really like, who would be a cheap trade and just I don't see why not, is Olen Zellweger out of Anaheim. He was a second-round pick a few years ago. He has tremendous offensive talent. He just hasn't really getting ice time, and yes, he's inconsistency. And then you have guys like John Carlson, Jackson Lacombe, you have Mintnyakov, Trouba, Gouda. Like he's kind of getting phased out. He hasn't played in these playoffs, so he's still young. He's only like 22, maybe 23. He's an RFA, so you have control over him if you get a trade. So give Anaheim a second, give him a third. I think that's an easy pick. I think I think Elliot Friedman said a lot of teams have been calling on Anaheim about him because of the situation. But yeah, I mean, just elite offensive talent. Maybe give him some more ice time. Cheap option. You'll have to sign him to an RFA deal this offseason, but he shouldn't ask for too much. So I think that's an easy swing if you can try to do that. But I think a Raddysh and Carlson are a little bit far-fetched. I think Raddysh is more plausible than Rasmus Anderson, but I think Rasmus Anderson would be the hardest. John Carlson, end of his career, does he really want to go to a big market like Toronto? He's already won a cup. Like, guys want to retire in Anaheim. If Anaheim, when they're good, is one of the top places to be because you're living in like fucking San Diego or wherever Anaheim is. I forget where it is, but it's just local. Like it's just easy. It's just the fans aren't too crazy. Like it's clean living over there. So California taxes aren't great, but when you're making $50 million, I'm sure it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, man, I don't really have much else on the hockey front, dude. I mean, we kind of talked about. I mean, one thing too. Do you see? So I'm really happy McKenna's going to the World Championships. I love that. Do you see that Macklin Celebrini is captain? No, he's captain. Dude, he's captain over, like, you know who the assistants are? John Tavares and O'Reilly. and then Celebrini's captain. I mean, hey, I love it. He's going to be the future of Hockey Canada for a long time. Disgusting. Oh, poor France absolutely put the guy's goalie's jockstrap in the stands. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of ballsy to name a 20-year-old captive Team Canada. I know it's World Championships, but yeah, hopefully they're doing good. I know USA doesn't have a great team. I know Matthew Tkachuk went over because he wants to win the triple gold club or whatever because he needs a World Championship, but their team looks crap. I really wanted Schaefer to go over. Or is he over? No, I don't think Schaefer Bedard went, but Love Celebrini went over. I think McKenna went over, so that's awesome. Hopefully the boys can catch a dub. I like watching the games every now and then. Yeah, man, I don't know if you have anything else. We can get to the golf. You beat me this week. I think it was very slightly. You had Højgaard, who'd finished like top 3. I had Fitzpatrick, who finished top 4. A hell of a start for Fitzpatrick of his PGA career. So we get to the. I think I picked first for the PGA Championship. PGA. I shall go. Give me Xander. Yeah, it's just you're holding out for these top guys. I already know who my next pick is if you don't pick. Well, you took Scotty. I took Rory for the Masters. So if you want to take Rory or wait, yeah. Coming off a toe injury, so we'll see how that affects him. But the Truist, yeah, he finished. Well. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't play horrible.
I'm gonna pick the Grand Slam, hopefully winning man. I'm gonna go Jordan Spieth. I mean, he's had a good season. He hasn't blown away, but he's playing this because he hasn't played incredible. Well. But he's made every cut. He's finished like top 25 to almost like every tournament. It's just hasn't really just picked up his game. But I don't know. He needs it for the Grand Slam. We'll see how he does. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce the name again. Romianrak. I don't even fucking know what it's called. How was it close? All right, who's your second pick?
Give me Brian Harman.
And then I'm going to finish off with... I kind of want to pick a live guy here. Give me Rom. I think Rom will bounce back from the disaster Masters, and we'll see if he puts the haters to rest with live getting fucking bankrupt. Yeah. Because I also can pick Bryson at some point. I might wait for the U.S. Open for Bryson. Because you already picked Bryson, right? 4-1. Okay, this game's over.
I'm going to take Rasmus.
Nikolai finished... I think he finished like second or third today.
Take his brother.
Apparently, we gotta look out for this Norway guy who won. Apparently, his amateur career is insane. He's only like 22. The guy who won today, I don't even know his name. I didn't watch either. I just saw the finish. And this guy's 22, and his amateur career is a joke.
Championship has Xander Schauffele, Jordan Spieth, and John Rahm. I have Rory McIlroy, Brian Harman, and Rasmus Højgaard.
I need to pick it up though. I lost 2 in a row. For my lock of the week, I have Brooks Koepka, top 20 finish. Plays well at PGA. I mean, he has 3 dubs. He's getting better and better each week. Didn't have his best at the Zurich, him and Lowry. I think they might have. Actually, there's no cut. Did he miss a cut? Yeah. But individually, he's been great. So, and he dominates the PGA. So, I'll say Brooks Koepka got top 20. And I had Buffalo Montreal over game 1, which I think the over was like 7 goals.
So,
I respect that.
Why not?
Bet the farm. I got Ducks money line. So this is going to be. So the game starts on Tuesday. So this has already come out, but whatever. Ducks money line. Cutter Gauthier over in shots, Leo Carlson over in shots. Then I have Nate and Makar, both anytime in over in shots with Avs money line. It'll be game 5. No problemo.
Oh. The Yankees over the Orioles, the Blue Jays over the Rays, the Diamondbacks over the Rangers, the Mariners over Stros, and the Dodgers over the Giants with... I think it was A's. And I can't remember who was pitching for... Oh, Roki Sasaki. There
you go.
5 Ks for the Dodgers.
I think that's all we got, man. Yeah, a bit of a shorter episode. I mean, still almost an hour, so maybe not that much shorter. But this is a good one, Jackson. Again, congratulations. A lot of fun. Drink your body weight this whole week. Yeah, attaboy. I might have to be the thumbnail there, just a picture of you. Did you like my story I put on Buds last night? Yeah, boy. Yeah. I was gonna do a picture where I was gonna take a selfie of you guys with like me flipping you guys off, but Caitlin said don't do that. I think that'll be funny.
Yeah, Julia took a video.
I know. I remember. I gotta see the whole roll of it all. That'll be jokes.
And she made the roll of it, but the one picture of me is me with my shirt open.
Yeah, what a night it was. Congratulations again. And for Jackson, go follow us. Go comment, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Spotify. Yeah, please.
Retire us.
on X, Instagram, and TikTok, Buds and Pucks, and of course on YouTube. Go check out the draft video as well. Just follow us on Spotify and YouTube. Comment, like, subscribe. Jackson, we'll see you when you're back from Cancun.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy Mackinac, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round!
Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5!